for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's start with special reports. Mr. Bill Lennon is not here, so we will move on to Mr. Petrucci.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. We met on December 16th, and of course, it being a school year. Enrollment figures, hope to have for you next month for our meeting. This way you know what happens, all the shop classes, and also the high school, the enrollment from high school. And also the, one other thing which isn't good news is that, and the big thing is that, hate to say this, the Christmas banquet. You know, it's, everybody loves it. It's great food, great time. You watch your kids. First they got to plan it, then they got to purchase, then they got to prepare, then they got to set up. You know what's up there. And there's no way we can do 6 foot. It'd just be impossible. Now the instructor, God bless her, you know, I thought we'd just cancel it. She wants to postpone it, you know, hoping that there's a vaccine that comes out, you know, and, you know, I'll keep you posted if anything develops. But as of right now, it is off.
Maybe they'll have an end of the year.
You sound like her.
And maybe it's Serbian Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Serbian Christmas.
there you go.
My mother would be happy, that's her birthday.
I will keep you posted if they want to reintroduce it later on in the school year, but right now, because, well, you know what, everything going on, it just can't happen. It just can't happen. That's all, Madam President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Petrucci.
You know what, if Mr. Vinton just sent me a text because of the, Scott, maybe you can go back and do it. Can you click the watch live button? It's on the middle top. He said it's the watch live button. It's on the middle top.
Here.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I meant Scott English. Back.
It is now live.
Oh, it's now live? Oh, never mind. Scott, it's now on. All right.
Thank you, Lisa.
Actually, just a reminder, at all times, Mr. Vinton is actually working remotely from home. That's why my text was going, my cell kept dinging because he was trying to let me know that the mic wasn't on, so to watch it live. So thank you, Mr. Vinton. And sorry for the interruption. Tonight, we wanted to discuss.
Well, I've got to tell them
I'm
about
sorry.
executive session for
I
next.
jumped in there, okay.
Okay, sorry. We had an executive session prior to this meeting at 5:15 this evening, where we discussed personnel and litigation and took advice from our attorney. Now, over to Dr. Harris for information.
Thank you. We're going to first start and with our student union rep, Zach Parent.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the school board. I'm just here to sum up what exactly happened at the homecoming ceremonies. I first would like to say congratulations to Maya Roman, Sarah Winchell, Lizzie Cermak, Sydney Posvac, Juliana Palisak, Nate and Mason Fry, Chase Vecchio, Ben Carazia, and Brad Ford for being nominated to the homecoming court. And a special congratulations to Maddie Suman and Silas Cascio for winning the homecoming king and queen. The parade was a total success, even though we had the parameters due to COVID-19. We have finally decided that we were going to move the balloon arch and the homecoming ceremony prior to the game. It seemed to work out a lot easier in favor of the band. From past experiences of myself, I would have to move the balloon arc all the way up to the high school right after we were done with the ceremony during halftime. And the band was trying to get on the field at the same time, and it was a little bit of a chaotic experience. But because of everything that happened this year, we realized that doing the ceremony possibly before the game may be a better option, as it allows for an easier transition of the band as well as the student union members with the float, with the balloon arch, as well as the members there. Currently, we are in our grace period dealing with student union. This is normally a time where we cool off after homecoming and then wait to plan another result. So I don't have anything new to approach on. I just wanted to talk about the floats. Although there weren't any, it was still a major success with all of the court as well as the fire trucks and police cars and everything. And there was a good bit of people there. I myself attended the parade, and I thought it was a success, even though we were under such parameters due to COVID-19. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
I
does-
know I went.
Does anyone have a question for Zach while he's here? Or a comment about the parade or the?
I went, I don't know, who else was there? Uncle Scott was there. I mean, it was really nicely done.
We tried our best just due to everything that has been down, and I'm glad that it actually worked out for all the students involved as well as the Penn Trafford community to take place into something what we normally have.
It was very nicely done. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Zach.
All right.
All right, I wanted to give a Level Green update. I know everyone's been getting my press releases, and it's not, it started off on Sunday, and then it continued till this past Sunday with different, or actually Saturday with the Level Green, but I just want to assure everyone that the district has always been in contact with the Department of Health. Based on the recommendation and advice of Department of Health, we first had to close Level Green for the 5 days, and then when we had a number of cases surge, we actually had to close it for 14 days. In the original, in the original press release, we weren't sure because we were still waiting for the Department of Health to give us the clarification of when the 14 days goes from. And they did follow up with Mrs. Popovich the very next day, and the school will resume on the 15th of October. And we sent that out to the parents of Level Green who are being, and they're not quarantined right now, they're actually, the school is being just closed for monitoring. I know a lot of people have that perception that all the kids are quarantined. Now, actually, if you received a letter and you were a close contact, which we did have quite a few letters go out, you are actually quarantined by the Department of Health, but everyone else in the building is just actually shut down. Now, we did have some concern because the Department of Health did not identify that the itinerant personnel who worked at Level Green should not be, they told us that they should still be working, but at this point, what we decided as a district, that if you worked at Level Green Elementary School, as itinerant, even if it was just 1 day last week, that you're not going to be in the buildings this week. So if you notice, we had a lot more substitutes in the building, or some of our classes, special classes might have had to be canceled or postponed or combined. That was the reason, because we had all of our teachers, they're not actually quarantined because they're not close contacts. The district just decided, for safety cautions, do not actually send them out to the other individual schools. We also sent out a letter for Sunrise last week as well. And we got a lot of different questions answered, concerns. We've been highlighting on there, the one thing we do, we can't send a letter out until all the close contacts have been notified. Because that's one thing about our letter, because once you get the letter, people want to know, well, was I a close contact? Do I have to the department? Do I have to quarantine? Is they going to give me a health? No, by the time we get the letter, all the close contacts were already notified. So when you're getting that, that's why we have to make sure everyone's notified before we send out a press release. So I do appreciate all the time, Scott Inglace took, the board's support, and especially Mrs. Popovich, and I didn't know she was coming tonight, but she is here. She has spent hourless working, and in fact, when she was calling the soccer score, she picked up the phone for me because it was very important, because I wanted to find out what had happened on Saturday, because we was waiting for the Department of Health to call back. She said, "Pardon me for the interruption," and then she announced something on the game, and she got back to me, so it was kind of funny. She kept going, so I appreciate you doing double work there, Mrs. Popovich. So, and Friday night, she sat on the field with her computer, because we actually, so it's been a lot of extra work for it, but I appreciate that we have Mrs. Popovich, Mr. Inglace. I appreciate the Department of Health actually working with us, and we want to do this right. We want to follow the recommendations. So thank you. And Lisa, is there anything you want to say to the school board, or?
No, I think Mr. Inglace, Dr. Harris, we've had a great relationship with the Department of Health.
She needs to speak at the mic.
Information, so
She beat the microphone.
No, she's saying no, she doesn't want to.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone here?
Well, thanks for coming in, and thanks for that. And like I said, we'll just keep following it, and as we get updates, the parents will get the updates too, and we will send out the information.
Can I ask Lisa a question? Ms. Popovich?
Sure.
Help us understand, how do you see the compliance of our students when you're walking through the schools, hallways, how would you comment on the compliance?
I would say they're outstanding. I truly mean that. Throughout, I walk throughout the halls to go to different places, and I don't see any kids in the high school without a mask on. And the teachers either have shields or a mask on. It's truly highly compliant. I mean, I don't see anyone without them.
Great, thank you.
Right. And then we also want to talk, I know I sent the email out yesterday. We had all intentions last week when I sent the email out to you, and I know Zach was probably disappointed too because he's been waiting to come back full-time, of going back in full. We put the plan out, we sent it out, and then it just seemed like the last few days with the numbers in the county and everything going on with Level Green and now the Sunrise staff, and we're just watching this day by day, that we had to make an adjustment, and then we tabled our discussion. But again, November, we will discuss it, and it's something I know when people do get concerned, and I understand the frustration of parents, because I had a couple express their concerns to me through an email, and I share that with the board, that they do want their kids back, for the full week. I understand that. I completely do. This is my 29th year working in education. I understand the importance of coming to school 5 days a week. Before I was a teacher, and I remember even as a young individual, I would play school because I love school. And, you just want to be in school. So I completely get it and I understand it. I do. And I want the kids back as well. And we just want to make sure that when we come back, we watch the numbers, we watch things that we can do in class. We truly want to make this happen. We put this out there. But right now, with everything, we can't make that recommendation. And I know, Scott, did you want to share anything that we've been looking at? And
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been looking at the data, and unfortunately, the county data and even the data within the district does not support moving off the hybrid at this time. We have an incident rate of about 15% right now within the Penn Trafford community. So, it really needs to be less than 5%. So it just doesn't support it. We have a number of cases that have increased in Westmoreland County, and we do understand a lot of that has been attributed to Westmoreland Manor that happened there, but there's still increases throughout the county with COVID unrelated to that nursing home situation. So I think it's just best to put it on pause right now, keep an eye on the situation for the next month, look at it again at our next board meeting, which is in November, and we'll reevaluate at that time, and hopefully things are better. But we've always said it was going to be a fluid process, and we're looking at things weekly and monthly, and we'll make decisions as it comes.
And then, as even far as I was saying, it's been, with the restrictions, even with like the football games and not going to there, it's, it's a different year for like the staff as well, and I know the students as well, and it's hard, but we are gonna get through this, and we will follow all the recommendations as we can. So, does any board member have a question or concern, or? Good. All right. That's all I have for information, Mrs. Ising.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it back to you anyway, because you're going to tell us what we're going to do next week.
All right. Next week, we're going to ask you to employ the athletic extracurricular personnel for the 2021 school year, or 2021 next season. Budget and Finance, authorize payments for credits earned by professional employees. Approve the IDA-B and IDEA 619 sub-grant agreements. Authorize representatives to the WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium. Grant permission to advertise jointly for the purchase of supplies. Under Buildings, Grounds, and Safety, there are no items. Employee Relations, Negotiations, Transportation, there will be no items as well as food service. Under Personnel and Curriculum, to approve personnel agenda. For Policy Public Relations, Legislative Title II, give final approval to board policies and admin regulations. And we won't have anything under taxes, insurance, and census.
Okay. Well,
And just a reminder, we're going to continue working on the plan, you know, for the high school as well as the other school buildings, and just keep monitoring everything.
All right, thank you, Dr. Harris. I don't believe anyone's speaking. Ms. Bumper, no? Okay. Well,
If I could just ask one question with Brett. You gave us the information on the other bond refinance.
Yes, sir.
Could you just give us some information how the savings are going to be distributed or worked out? I know you said they're going to, work out over the term of the loans and that.
Sure. So the way it's basically going to work is that in total, our savings are just over $800,000. Approximately $200,000 will be recognized in our current fiscal year. That remaining $600,000 is going to be spread out over the life of the bonds that are still outstanding. And what they did was they looked at where the peak years were and threw the most amount of savings at where we had the highest amount of debt service. So they're trying to equal out and bring down to a level that would give future boards the opportunity to maybe borrow money sooner rather than later for any future building needs or whatever other capital needs the district may have.
So that'll basically lower our annual debt service?
It will lower our annual debt service, that is correct. So, we're gonna have a little savings up front, and then each year for the next 12 years, we're gonna have a bit of a savings, a bigger savings in the years where, we saw a little bit of a spike. It was pretty much even, but there were some, years that were a little bit higher than others, so they try to smooth that out a little bit more. But it should be a savings every year, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks for the question.
and one more follow-up. What did you say was the term of this bond?
Well, these replaced the bonds that were outstanding, and I think we have about, let's see, there should be a schedule.
2031, I think it says.
Yeah,
2031?
that sounds about right.
Right around 30.
Yeah, about 12 years left. That's about right, correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
How did the soccer game, I know they had their, was it 1-0? I don't know, I know Ms. Lees was there, was it 1-0?
Yes, it was 1-0.
Okay.
The girls won.
She should know, she did the announcing. So we do that, and I know,
As soon as we're done, we'll go to the volleyball game and then down to the soccer game for 8.
I was gonna say, there's a couple of things we can see tonight too, because I know, with the numbers too, so it was the volleyball, who's the volleyball playing tonight?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I can't remember, and the soccer game is
That is against Hempfield.
against Hempfield, that we know. All right, so if you're after the meeting, it's done pretty early, All right, but I guess there's also some restrictions too, so that's back there, which we might be, probably the volleyball game's not a.
The soccer, you can stand outside the gate and everything.
Soccer, you can stand
Yeah, you
outside the
can.
gate. Yeah. It's not, it's, like I said, it's different. We have to get used to it, but it's, it's different. And I do miss it, so, all right. But thanks, Ms. Lisa.
All right.
Thanks, Ms. Ising. That's all I have.
All right, at this point, I'll call an adjournment at 7:20 PM. Thank you.
Come, Paris.